from Elite Hair Care USA. So I am tonight Adriana is gonna make be making buffalo wings. So for lunch I said I'm gonna make some whiting because we had some in the freezer. And like I said, this is the perfect time to use up what you have that's been either long time need to be going away, or you just was too lazy to make it like I was. So I am going to make some whiting. So what I'm doing right now is getting my seasonings ready, which really isn't much. So I have some moon fish seasoning. That's what that is. So you guys see that? Moon fish seasoning. I have some black pepper, and I am thinking about using a little bit of moon allspice as well. So that's the seasoning that I'm using. Most people would just use salt and pepper. I'm not using salt and pepper though, so I'm gonna do it this way. I am also gonna use some all-purpose flour to make the breading for my fish, and that's kind of really it. So I'm gonna need a little bit of salt for that. And that's really what I need in regards to the breading and then in regards to the seasoning. So I also am gonna use some peanut oil to fry my fish, and I'm using this pot to fry my fish, which I already put the peanut oil in there. This is actually a wok, but it's great for frying. It's really good for frying, so I'm gonna be using that today too. All right, so let's go ahead and get our fish prepared. So I'm doing the forbidden. I have some Pacific whiting fillets that I got from Publix. So I'm going to be rinsing them, washing them, rinsing them, drying them, and then we'll start the seasoning part of it. So I'm actually going to get some lemon juice, so hold on. All right, so I got some lemon juice here. I don't have the real, I said lemon juice, but lime juice. I don't have any lemons or limes, so we're gonna use the juice. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and start cleaning up my fish, which really, it doesn't really require much cleaning. It's just more to like wash it off, because I'm using something that was processed by someone. This is not gonna open. So these have been thawing since this morning about 9 o'clock. So they're fully thawed. And this is nothing special, you guys. Like, I know everybody has their way of making fried fish. That's why I said this is nothing special. I'm just making my family some fish. Put in some lime juice. Ooh, that water is ice cold. And then I'm actually gonna cut some of the pieces. Well, actually, I'm gonna cut all of them in half, because that pot is not the best to make long strips, and we like them nice and crispy. So I'm gonna do that as well. All right, so I also got a baking tray with, I guess you could call it a cooling rack, cookie rack, cooling rack, whatever. I'm wondering if I can cut them with these scissors. I don't want to. All right. Hey. As you can see, thanks for these videos, enjoying them. Thank you. All right, so I got my cutting board here. I'm gonna go ahead and throw off the water and just rinse them with some regular water. And then what I'm also gonna do is get some parchment paper. And the parchment paper is going to be so that I can dry them. You want them to be dry, you guys. Because remember, we're gonna fry this. You want the breading to actually stick, right? So I got some paper towels. And let me just give you guys a disclaimer. I am not in any way, shape, or form a pro, okay? I just like to cook. For my family, I've always been the girl that will sit and watch Martha Stewart. I enjoy watching Martha Stewart. I enjoy cooking. So that's why you guys always see me like doing these cook with me's, and I enjoy that. So that's kind of how I am. All right, so I put my paper towel on top of my parchment paper. So what I'm gonna do is each piece of fish, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of pat it dry. I'm just gonna cut them in half. And then once I've dried it, I'm gonna lay them meat side down on my napkin that's on top of the parchment paper. So it can also help to dry out any additional water. Now I cut mine in half because I like them to be nice and crisp. Yep, so the storm is basically over. You know, right now we're just getting like a little bit of like drizzle. It's not even much wind. I just went to the store. Not a lot of stores are open. All right, let me get another paper towel. Not a lot of stores are open. Wawa was open, so I went to Wawa, and I went to the adult drink store. Both of those were open. Got something to drink. It also gave me a chance to kind of see that the streets, a lot of the streets are flooded. A lot of them are flooded. So, and a lot of the main roads are flooded, actually, where you can't even drive down those roads. All right, last piece. That piece is like soaked. So I have all of my fish here on this piece of parchment paper with paper towel. So it's also helping to get any residual water that was still left in each piece. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually take all of these pieces, because I'm gonna remove this napkin and I'm gonna use this parchment paper to season my fish. You can also use another piece of parchment paper if you want to, but it's not really required. So the parchment paper is just slightly damp. So we're gonna season them up real easy. Real easy. All right, cool. Let me get these napkins. I'm not gonna turn on my stove yet. So I have my seasoning here. What I'm gonna do is just kind of put it in a little bowl. So I'm gonna put my seasoning together. So of course I have black pepper. Some people would just use salt and pepper. You can do that too, okay? It's your choice. You season your food with whatever you want to season your food with. All right, so for our moon fish seasoning, I'm gonna take a tablespoon of that. And then some all-purpose or allspice. I'm gonna take a tablespoon of that. And that's all I need. And then just kind of mix it up. So all right, so one thing with this seasoning is it does have some of the larger pieces in it, which I don't want. That's me. So I'm actually gonna skim that off. You don't have to, but keep in mind when you are frying stuff, anything that is large enough to fall off, anything that's large enough to fall off the fish is gonna burn. So you don't want anything to burn. But this is just an extra step. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I'm just doing it because I don't want these large flakes in there, but I'm just gonna put this back into my all-purpose seasoning. Because it's still gonna be used, I'm just not gonna use it for my fish. And that 5 seconds did not hurt me. Okay, so that's gonna be our seasoning for our fish. So all I'm gonna do now is put everybody close together. Just season everybody up. I'm gonna rub it in anyway, because you don't want it to like drop off. Now, like I said, this is how we like ours. If you like just salt and pepper, you go right on ahead. You put whatever you want to put on your fish. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I know the lighter skins, they do a little dab of salt and a dab of pepper and them swears a fish season, and we're done. Not us. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna flip them over. This time though, I'm not gonna put a ton of seasoning because I already know I have seasoning on one side and there's seasoning on the parchment paper as well. And the seasoning that's left behind, guess where I'm gonna put that? Into my flour. All right, so we're gonna let that sit. I'm going to get a large Ziploc bag. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do our flour. How are we doing, family? Doing great. We're doing great. Are we having bami? No, we ain't having no bami. I'm just making some fish. All right, so I have some all-purpose flour. You know what? same practice. This doesn't matter 100%, but if you like to do this and you like your flour to be nice and smooth, then you go ahead. If it don't matter to you, it don't matter to you. You can do it whatever way you choose. It's your choice, okay? I choose to do it like this because I like it to be nice and light and airy, and I like my fish to be crispy with none of these stupid flour pockets in it. So you can do yours the way you want. Like I said, these little things kind of make a difference to me because I feel like it leaves the fish nice and light. Right? And I don't use recycled oil to fry fish. I feel like it makes the fish heavy. And I'm not gonna do a wet batter, I'm doing a dry batter. Oh Lord, I almost did the wrong thing. All right, so this is the last one. I feel like I should do one more. I don't really think I have to, but I'm going to just in case, because that's the worst thing you can do is go season up the flour and then you don't have enough. Or if I use the bigger strainer. I also have a sifter, but I wasn't gonna go take that out of the closet. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're going to add in the rest of our seasoning from our fish. Okay, so that is going to be the seasoning for our flour. So our flour is nice and light. So our flour is ready. All right, let me clean this up. I'm gonna put these back. Turn on my stove here. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and start to dredge the fish. So some of you know this, some of you don't. A little trick that I learned when you are frying fish and chicken and you're adding any form of dry flour to them, I'm not gonna soak them in anything. I'm not gonna put them in an egg wash. I'm not doing any of that. Okay, I am just gonna put a coating of flour on them, but once I coat them in flour, I'm actually going to put them on this baking tin so that the fish can absorb the flour. Okay, so I'm doing it the dry way, but you can definitely do it the wet way if you want. If you want to make a batter, you can. So I'm just dredging them and then laying them on here. So while my oil gets hot, my fish is absorbing the flour. And then you can do a second coat. And that is how you make it nice and crispy. That's how you do yours. See? Everybody does it different. So I'm actually gonna put them skin side down. That part I didn't do. Skin side down so that the flour can absorb on the meat side. The skin side is not hard to get crispy. It's where the meat is. And that's also how you can get like all the excess flour off too. So you're not like dropping a ton of flour and then it starts to burn in your pot. So my pot is already on. I'm getting my pot nice and hot. All right. So I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore. All right, so our fish is absorbing the flour. See, that's how you want it. You want your fish to absorb the flour so that when you do put it in the pot, all of this flour is not just flying off from the oil and then all of a sudden you have burned oil. Okay, so that is how I do my fish. I'm gonna wash my hands. Hold on, you guys. Putting together soap. Okay, guys, so our fish has almost absorbed the flour, so that's good. We already have our oil over here where the oil is heating. You guys know when you're making fish, the oil has to be hot, okay? You cannot make fish and your oil is not hot, okay? So I have, this is actually a candy thermometer, but any thermometer will work. Just so we can make sure that the oil is hot. So I'm using the thermometer. And then of course you don't want your thermometer to be at the bottom of the pot because then at that point your oil temperature is off. So at least it needs to be a minimum of about 350. Right now it's not near that yet, which it will be in just a second. But let me do something first, because I think my thing is not actually touching. There we go. Because a part of me feels like this is already at 350, but I want to see. And then another way, another trick for you to test oil is to take a wooden spoon. You can take a wooden spoon and you stick it in the pot. And if it begins to fry the wooden spoon, then it's ready. I don't think that it's 100% ready yet because it didn't start frying fast enough. Whereas these areas, they have, but this is the base. So you do want to make sure that this is going to fry like almost immediately. So we're going to wait another couple seconds. I'm going to bring my fish over. This pan is going to be the same pan that I'm also going to use after I fry the fish. So what I'm going to do is after I do most of the fish on one side, I'm going to take a napkin, clean it off so I can put the fried fish on here so that it can drain. All right, let's try this one more time. All right, that's good. So I'm gonna get my tongs, whatever. Call it whatever you want. You can use tongs or you can use a fry basket, which I like this better. The tongs also can sometimes remove the breading, so. I'm gonna take a little bit of flour on my fingers. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and start dropping my fish. And then of course you don't wanna crowd your pot when you're frying fish, so I'm just gonna do like 3. Because you want them to fry nice and clean, very important. Make sure that they have space to move around, which they do. I could put one more in there, but I'm not. We're Jamaican, so that's how my mom and grandma do fried chicken. We love to serve it. Yes, marinate with spices to get flavors into the meat. We love you. I recall your story time regarding getting your house to anything good. Praise the Most High. Thank you. Hey. All right, so our fish is going. Not gonna mess around with it too much. It's already crispy, so that's how we want it. You want it nice and crispy. Crispy. I honestly could have put 4, so I think my next go around I'm gonna put 4. I'm always flipping them over because you know they like to get that little groove. So when I flip them over, they'll fry. All right, so this is our next. The parchment paper is not a big deal, you guys. I just choose to use the parchment paper under my drying rack to catch a lot of that oil. but it's not like a necessity. You don't absolutely have to have it. So my fish is nice and dry. Congratulations, definitely on your family. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just letting it do its thing. Fish doesn't really take long. It doesn't take long to fry, especially these small pieces. These small pieces don't take long at all. And the reason why I'm not going to drop it in here now is because what I don't want to happen is the temperature of the oil drops, and then these that are already frying, they become wet. I don't want them to become wet. I want them to be dry. I'm just floating. I mean, I can take them out now, but I'm going to give them a second. I'm going to give them a second. And then before I put the next set of fish in there, I'm going to let the oil bring itself back up to temperature. And I want to make sure that my oil stays at least 350. Right now, it's at about 340. So once I take the fish out, it's going to rise again, and then I'll drop more. That's how you keep your fish nice and crispy and evenly cooked. I didn't even notice that I had one piece of fish still like laying in this flour. That's crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and drop some more. Skin side down. Maybe one more. Smells great. So they're getting nice and crispy the moment they get into the oil, which is exactly what I want. I'll show you guys these. Nice and crisp. It's whiting. Like, it don't take that long, guys. Like, you know, this don't take long. It's good. It really don't take long at all. And then any of my pieces where I saw like some of the skin coming off, I just went ahead and put a little more flour on them so that it will absorb and be ready to fry in the next batch. Some pepper sauce. Yes, it's a good batch. That was a good batch. And all I do, that's why you guys keep seeing me do this. I'm just moving them around so that they don't stick together. It's not really required, but I like to fry in this pot. Like it fries them really, really well. And then to keep them all nice and even, that's why you guys see me flipping them over gently so that my skin stays nice and crispy. And we let that fry. You know, I think we have tartar sauce, and then a part of me says we don't have any tartar sauce. I thought we did. I did think we had some, but we don't. These are really good. This pot came from the West Indian store. It's the same company that makes the Dutch pot. Mimosa or something like that. If you go to any Caribbean or Latino store that sells stuff like that, you'll see these. Even the Chinese supermarket, they cook with these. So it's a wok. It's just a very heavy wok. Thank you, see. It's in Nusa. There you go, in Nusa. You can probably even find it on Amazon. All right, I'm gonna see. Wok. There we go. So if you go on to Amazon and you type in Emusa wok, they don't have it on here. But you can find this in any like Caribbean store. And someone said Target. It's whiting. It's some whiting. So I'm just gonna flip it over. Now, I did not use a cornmeal dredge on it, so it's not going to have that super brown color. I used all-purpose flour, so it doesn't have like super brown color on it. Let me give it a couple seconds. I won't say the joke, but it's based on stout fried chicken. So I would like some potato salad and greens with mine. You're so funny. Alright, you guys see how crispy they are? That's what we want. We want crispy fish. And then I'm just putting it on the baking tray nice and flat so that they can drain. Alright, so we're going to put some more in there. I have 4 more pieces, so I'm just going to save those 4. And I have the stove on high. Peg bread is great with fish. I mean, peg bread is alright. I prefer bami. If I could get bami, I'll take the bami. Okay, so my dad is finally on here. His question was, did I season the fish with moon spice? So can you guys fill him in how I season the fish? So we use the moon fish seasoning. We use the moon all-purpose seasoning or season all. We also use some black pepper. So yes, Daddy, I used some of the moon spice collection to season the fish, and that's all I use. Of course, moon spice does not have black pepper, so we just use some regular black pepper. But we use the moon fish seasoning, and we also use the moon all-purpose seasoning. Oh, Grasshopper, I did not see your question. I am so sorry. I did not see your question, love. I'm sorry. But yes, I did use all moon spice, excluding black pepper. and we sifted. So we used the dry season, we did not use the wet one. So there's dry rubs, which is dry seasons, and then there's the wet one, which is the all hail to the moon spice. It's like to the moon kind of spice, right? But we did not use the wet one, we used the dry one. And we sifted them into the flour as well. So the flour has some of the moon spices in it, and the fish has been seasoned with some of the moon spices. My fried fish never come out nice. I'm paying attention. So it's not really hard. Like, I also am one where it used to never come out nice, but where I found myself going wrong is that I did, number one, allow the fish to thaw well enough. Number two, I did not dry the fish thoroughly. You have to make sure that the fish is dry, right? And when I say dry, meaning it's not dropping with water. Lastly, I learned to allow the fish to absorb the flour before you fry it, and that is the key to making it crispy. If you want it to have a really good batter, then you can double dip it. You can dredge it in eggs, and then dip it in the flour, allow it to absorb, and then dip it in the flour again, and that is how you get that really, really nice coat, or that really, really nice coating on the fish, and that too will make the fish come out really, really crispy. Today I'm just doing lunch, so I wasn't gonna do a double batter and all that. I'm not doing all that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn my fish over. And also the key to it is having good oil. So I like to use peanut oil for frying. I can say there's a huge difference. Like, I used to, of course, you can use whatever oil you want, but I used to just use whatever oil and not understand that every oil is not made for everything, right? So peanut oil is great for frying. So how I found out about peanut oil is my first attempt at making a fried turkey. I saw that everyone used peanut oil, and apparently peanut oil does not absorb in the meat. So it crisps the meat really well, and it keeps it non-greasy. So now, whenever I'm doing any form of frying, like later Adrienne is going to be making wings, we use peanut oil. If I'm cooking like something like where I'm going to stew it or brown it or whatever, I use vegetable oil. Or if it's something where I want the oil to be super light, I use coconut oil. Olive oil. It's really your choice. I don't like to fry with olive oil. It's too heavy. So that's another thing. But the oil is definitely the key in allowing the fish to be dry and absorb your flour before you fry it. So true. All oils are not for everything. No, they're not. They're not. And yes, my father is correct. If everybody could go and close your chat and hit that thumbs up button, that would be awesome. That tells YouTube to continue to rate my channel amongst all the big greats, the big bodies, you know? The big bodies. I'm approaching 400,000 subscribers, so I only need about 2,000 more subscribers to get to 400,000. So I need everybody to share my channel, share it with your friends and family, and tell them to make sure that they subscribe. So I'm just going to flip it over one more time. And this flip is not to leave it in for long. The fish is beautifully cooked. You do it all. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I have more space now. So I'm going to move this last batch of fish over to make sure that I have space for my fish here that's done. Okay, so my fish is cooked. Alright, so we got our last batch of fish to go in. So this is going to be the last batch. Now this one, it didn't absorb as much, but it's fine. It's the last batch. And then I'm just going to make sure that... Also, one thing that I've learned when you're frying fish, you move it once and then you allow it to cook. Especially if you're frying like whole snapper or anything like that. You can only move it once. The moment you put it in, you set them right and you leave them. When they're done, and their skin is crispy, then you can put them. If you don't do that, then you're going to end up having all kind of fish skin and fish bits in your oil. Trust me, I've made a ton of mistakes tons of mistakes when I make it. So I've learned and learned and learned. We are still having rain now and again, but nothing serious. I had binge watched your videos this morning. Thank you, Big Shop, for now. You learn how to cook recipes. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Okay, so this is the last batch of fish. So I'm going to go ahead and discard these scraps that I have. But I don't really need anything else. I don't need my tongs. I don't need anything. So I just use my flour bag, right? And then all of the fish bags that I have, they go into the flour bag. Easiest way to not make your house smell stinky. So I'm gonna flip them over just so we can make sure that our skin is crispy. I'm gonna go ahead and put these back because I don't need them. You guys ready for fish? We're gonna have chicken. Want some fish from? So we're not doing any fancy plating, you guys. This is just a snack. So chicken. Kristen, here. Another hour, come on. Here. Hey, Morocco. So these last 4 pieces I'm going to take. I'm going to make them super crispy. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn off my stove. I don't really need it too much more. I'm not going to call you guys again. What do you say? Give me the ketchup again. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take out our last couple pieces. Okay. So, look, the oil is still somewhat clean. Now, if you had done this and didn't allow your fish to absorb the flour, it will probably be super dirty and your fish starts coming out black, and then all of a sudden you start noticing that the fish is not it's not crispy anymore because now the flour is so congested with flour, the oil is so congested with flour that you can't eat it. So this was the last batch, but if you notice, they're still all even. I don't even take 3 pieces. So I'm gonna make my own little fake tartar sauce. Let's do it. How is it, son? How is it, son? It's okay? Is it okay? Yeah, mommy, it's okay. All right. guys don't judge me. I'm making my own tartar sauce. It's not really tartar sauce, okay? This is just called Crystal's gonna eat her fish with this sauce. It's my sauce. I do what I want. So I'm gonna take some Miracle Whip because I love Miracle Whip. Some mustard because I like Miracle Whip and mustard on bologna. So who said that it wouldn't go together? Ooh, that looks nice. And then I'm gonna use some Grace hot pepper. I don't really eat everybody else's hot pepper. Grace is my thing. I'm just gonna douse that baby with some hot sauce. Mm-hmm. And I'm just gonna take a fork. So it's not really tartar sauce. This is just Crystal sauce. Sauce. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, you guys. Let me get something to drink. Sour bitter sauce. Call it whatever. I'm gonna have that with a little bit of OJ. OJ and ice. Do you ever make curry chicken? Yeah. My kids are tired of curry, so they beg me not to make curry. What? No. It's a series. No.
What is it?
National Treasure.
Number 3?
No. Really? Y'all don't try that sauce. Chris, all that mustard. Mustard is awesome. You know how it goes. Grandma teach me and passed it on. All right, so I have my fish. Crispy. Hold on, you hear that? That's crispy. Okay. Go ahead. Crispy. Sauce. And then, ooh. Oh yeah. You hear that? Crispy. You guys want some ASMR? I think that's disgusting.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
You have to chop it like they do. That's how they do.
Okay.
It's ASMR.
No, this is not an ASMR video.
Come, come. Daddy, I'm gonna mail you some. ASMR, and you have to take the juice. And you gotta whisper. I'm gonna drink some juice. ASMR. Wanna try it? Eat the fish.
Mommy, I just picked up.
You have to do ASMR too.
No, I don't do that.
You have to chop your mouth because you got the braces. It's even better. Thank you, guys. It's hot. Grandpa said mine, I bite my tongue. If you guys don't know what ASMR is, go type it in. You're going to be super grossed out.
I'm gonna bite your tongue.
Yeah. Eat fish out of me. That's how I eat my food. What is?
Good.
In ASMR too, they have to make the like it's hot and the food be cold.
I'm trying to eat my food now.
Fish bad. So how you eat the fish? You have to take the sauce. You have to spread it. Spread it like bread. You see that? See that? And then you take it like that. And you have to turn it the right way. So you have to eat the tail first. You see? And then you. And then if you're a pro ASMR, you chop your mouth. Adriana's so aggravated. See? You chopping your mouth. And then Junie calls this cooling down the drink. So you have to shake the cup like this. Cooling down the drink. Because the drink hot. What's going? Your grandma calling. Y'all know I'm a fool, right? Okay.
Hello. Hey, come on. This one. This one we do.
You have to cool down the drink. She in the hood. The lights off, aren't they?
Is it going just to that?
That's what happens when you're in the hood. Your food, dear.
What's your mom? Come on. I'm gonna say the whole fence is gone.
Her fence?
This one.
Really? Wow. Tell her to call her insurance.
And she said the rest of the screen is ripped off.
That was perfect time to call the insurance. So go ahead and get a new pool fence and a yard fence.
She said they don't cover it no more.
Why don't?
Wait.
I'll call her back.
She can come. Mommy said she'll call you back. Okay.
It's Crystal's favorite sauce.
No way. It's a cheapy sauce. Cheapy.
It's kind of spicy though.
She put mustard whip.
Any custard?
Or the, what is it called?
Tartar sauce?
Tartar sauce.
No, we don't have none, baby. We got ketchup.
Everything about ketchup is this.
What about mustard? You have mustard. You got mayo. Try it. Something about orange juice, it has to be thin for me to drink it. I'm cooling down the drink. You want some?
It stinks.
No, it doesn't. You're lucky you get lunch. I could have made you eat
You're
oodles and
talking
noodles.
about the sauce, right?
I could have had y'all eat cereal for lunch.
What
Be
does it do
thankful.
with the actual food? Just talk about the sauce, right?
Be thankful. You know how many children right now without some food?
If you understand, me not eating this is not going to affect your population.
Yeah, it's
We're all
plenty of
hungry.
children out there that was hungry. On the chest too
There's a lot
high.
of kids that aren't hungry also.
On the chest too high.
Can I get some Dredging? Go ahead.
See that? For lunch tomorrow, y'all eating cereal.
I've never heard that lunch before.
What?
I've never heard that lunch before.
Tastes nice, don't you? No.
I have some water on me.
Bring the water for me anyway, because I'm thirsty. That orange juice ain't doing nothing. Let me see. Bring it to me. Look how Christian eat his fish, y'all. You finished, son? So where you eat out of the fish? Where water there? Give me the water out of the fridge. He scrapes out pieces. Here, Adriana. Because you seem to love to eat up his food here. Is the fish hot? Yeah. I'm cooling down the drink. Alex, you gotta cool down your drink. It's hot. No, it's not. And then you gotta put out your pinky when you do it. It's the last bite. So we're gonna ASMR the last bite. Ready? Anybody who do ASMR is a hog.
So, Cash is more of a bulldog and Prince is more of a pit bull.
And Prince will take Cash's head off.
Is it what this morning? Did Cash do this morning? What did he do, Mommy? What did Cash do, Mommy?
I'm still thirsty. We're gonna drink a little water. Second, let me get my quench first, and then you can drink some of the water. Yeah, swallow. There you go.
You didn't pour anything.
She said she wants some of the water.
You didn't even pour anything.
Here you go.
Can you
Drink the water.
Can I please have
And
some?
don't waste none.
Let's want a little bit more.
Okay, I'm gonna give you another swig. There you go.
Mommy, please. This is some water. Thank you.
I am so aggravating. I am super aggravating. Thank you. I'm making up for the sunflower seed, but that was actually Adriana. That wasn't Alice. Alex will huff and puff, but she will share. I'm full though. It was good. How was your fish? It was good? Good. Was that an okay lunch for you privileged people? Privileged children? Still a little dehydrated, a little parched. That's for no more.
This jar is becoming a gallon of water a day, Mommy. I have to carry that really big pink jug with you everywhere, Mommy.
You're disturbing me cooling down my drink. Oh, I know Grasshopper's sitting here like, if she shake that cup one more for her. So that was lunch, you guys. A little bit of whiting, a little bit of laughter, some orange juice, a little bit of ASMR, and then some alkaline water. It really helps. Oh yeah, my dad cooked soup today. I would like some soup. I would like some soup. It's the mustard. It's not just mustard. It's famous sauce. It's exclusive sauce. It's not just mustard. Don't be rude. It's exclusive. Ooh, stewed chicken. Soup on the chest just high. I want to be like, you. Alright, so I'm gonna wash up these little plates. Oh, food for the tea. Yeah, it's just drizzling now. Like, there's not even much breeze blowing. It's just blowing like a regular day. We have flooding. There's some parts of Orlando that's flooding really bad. Thank you. So I wash up 2 plates. Yeah, I haven't heard of any deaths or anything. And I kind of had the news on most of the day. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna pour some into this frying pan. So this frying pan that had the oil in it, this is gonna go out. So what I like to do is pour soap and water in it. Let that sit. Alright, so I have some hot water boiling. So I'm gonna take some bleach. Put a little bleach in there. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my pot. I didn't even notice that my children had these in here. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you guys. The easiest way, after you pour your oil and water mixture, I have soap water in here. So I'm gonna put some ice cubes in this nozzle. And that's how you solidify oil and clean it out. And then it will also solidify the oil that's in your lime, if any, even though I diluted it with soap. And it'll get all your oil out. That's also how you clean out residual oil from over time. So I forgot that these I still have dishes to wash. This is from their breakfast that they didn't even wash up. I should beat them off. After I wash these couple dishes today, I ain't washing them no more. And only because they put the boxes on all the soaps for me, or put the soaps in boxes, that's the only reason why I'm even doing this. right, all done. All right. I did. I washed the dishes and put them in the dishwasher. Well, I'm not gonna run the dishwasher. That's where we dry them because I ain't putting no stupid rack on the counter. I hate that. All right, so I'm gonna clean off all the stove there. All right, peeps, we're all done. I do not like to see those dish caddies. Like when I was younger, my mom used to have the dish caddy on the counter thing. Don't like that. I do not like the dish caddy on the counter. All right, you guys. So I'm all done. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. That included time for me to make the fish, eat the fish, and clean back up my mess. So I think I did good time. So now I'm gonna sit and watch some Black Panther. Hope your government don't work like ours, because if they do, you're in a rough time. She don't like dishes in the drainer. Tanetta, I don't even like doing dishes myself, so just know. Just know. I just made a promise to myself that when it comes to the kitchen, I want it to always look very, very clean, very polished. And that's a promise that I made once I knew that we were buying a house. That was very important. That and organizing was very important. So yeah, but I'm gonna sit now and watch Black Panther and relax. And I will basically talk to you guys later. I have some videos to upload on my stories. So is it stories or shorts? I think it's called shorts. So you'll be able to see basically what I saw. And I'll see everybody later. Peace.